Definitely, I would lose that fight. Whatever fight that was, I would definitely lose. 100%, I would lose that fight. Laker fans, thank you very much for being here. Appreciate you guys being a part of the show. A couple fist pumps from my people here. Thank you all for being a part of the show. Lakers get a big win. Needed the win, Laker fans. Needed the win, Laker fans. Had to have it. Lakers got it. Alvin, got you. Got you. Got you right here. I got you. Had to have it, Laker fans. To be honest with you, I did not think this is how it was going to go. I thought you had to split the weekend. They split the weekend, but they got it completely different than I thought they would get it. So I thought the Lakers would end up getting the one on Friday, and then this one would be a struggle against the Golden State Warriors. But no, that's 3 straight games against the Golden State Warriors the Lakers have won. So that's pretty damn impressive for the Lake Show. Needed it. I like Ahmed's line here, just one game at a time. One game at a time. You know, he almost sounds like a head coach over there, right? He's just basically saying, guys, let's not jump to conclusions here. One game at a time. Appreciate you guys being a part of the show. Post-game show after the post-game show. So always appreciate you guys spending some time and coming on here. Okay, so this is what I got to do right out the gate here. I just got to point out a couple things. Number one, we're going to get into the actual game. We'll talk about the role players. We'll talk about Anthony Davis, which definitely had himself an afternoon. We're going to look at the NBA standings. We'll talk about the game coming up on Tuesday. There's some games going on as we speak that has some type of impact on the Lakers one way or the other. So we'll get into that as well. Also, if you guys don't mind for a quick second here, everybody that comes to this channel and they're on this channel when I do these lives or whenever I put up the podcast, whatever the case is, I'd appreciate you guys subscribe to the channel. Take 2 seconds. Just a quick little subscribe to the channel. Just takes a second. Also, as Eddie Mendoza clearly sees here, thank you, Eddie. Greatly appreciate it. Super chats are on as well tonight. So thank you there. Thank you very much, Eddie. I greatly appreciate that. Shout out to Sliwa for always bringing some good Lakers content. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. That means a ton. So thank you for doing that. Okay, let's get started here. Let's get started on the show. Lakers over the Golden State Warriors. So the final score, I mentioned the Eddie. Thank you again for doing that. Really appreciate it. Final score 113 to 105. So weekend you walked into what I thought is just get a split. However the hell you get the split, get the split. And the Minnesota game on Friday was weird. You know, I kind of walked away from the game on Friday. I did one of the post games, and I did both post games, but at least on YouTube, I was saying, yeah, I didn't feel like if the Lakers had won that game just based on how that game was going, I would have felt like they stole the game away, that Minnesota kind of, for the most part, controlled the entire game. And give Minnesota their credit. They came into crypto, took 2, one against the Clippers, one against the Lakers. And then last night went to Sacramento and got another road win. So 3 solid road games, 3 solid road wins for them. And I was a little, kind of in my head saying, all right, this is probably going to go the wrong way then. So when we need wins the most, I don't feel very good coming into Sunday's game. The Warriors had won 5 games in a row. Steph Curry was obviously going to make his return. Andre Iguodala's coming back as well, but Steph is the key piece there. The only thing that was kind of giving me some hope in this game against the Golden State Warriors is the 5-game winning streak that they were on. All those games were up at the Chase Center in San Francisco. Laker fans, do you know that the Warriors are 27-7 at home? One of the best records at home in the NBA. I think Denver has a better record than them at home. Memphis has a better record. It might be a couple teams. Milwaukee, I think, has a better record. So they're one of the better teams in the entire NBA at home. But on the road, the Warriors are 7-24. So, I mean, with Steph Curry, without Steph Curry, they struggle on the road. So I thought, all right, well, are the Warriors trending in a direction where they're really kind of starting to prep for the playoffs? And I know they still don't have Andrew Wiggins, but their road record is so bad. I got to imagine, all right, let's see what happens here. Let's see how it shakes out. So the game starts, and right out the gate, before you even blink, Lakers 32-12, they're up. 32-12. And then Lakers went into a long drought where it seemed like they really weren't getting much points. And before you know it, Golden State comes all the way back, and it's a 1-point game at halftime. I think it's 54-55 at halftime, something like that. So at the half, I'm telling myself, I'm like, all right, how the hell do they hold on to this lead? If Golden State came all the way back, now are feeling good about themselves. We're down 20, made it a 1-point game. Isn't this the Warriors game to be got? Even if AD goes off, I'm just kind of looking at it from that perspective. And if there's one thing that the Lakers never allowed, I think Golden State had like a 7-6 lead early on. Maybe 7-4. That was the biggest lead they had was 3 and at 1.76. After that, Lakers go up 20. And I don't know how many different times the Warriors cut it to within 1, cut it to within 2, cut it to within 3. But the Lakers never did for the Warriors. They never gave them the lead. So Golden State never had the lead until, that 7-6 game early in the first quarter. They never led after that. I don't know if that's a psychological thing for the Lakers that they kept them. They always kept them at bay. Now, I'm not saying that it's the perfect game plan. But once they got it down to 1, Lakers would find a way to get it to 4-7, get it up to 8. And then Golden State would come all the way back. They get it down to 2. Lakers would put it back up to 6. So it was kind of going back and forth that way. And Lakers had a chance. What'd they go up? They go up 9, something along those lines. And then before you know it, Steph and Clay hit 2 threes right away, and it was a game again. When they needed big buckets, they got it. And a lot of that was obviously driven by Anthony Davis. Okay, let me hit on AD here real quick. AD had 39. 39, 8 rebounds, 6 assists, and 2 block shots. AD gets a lot of, you know what? He gets a lot that gets pointed at him. He's pretty damn good today. He really was. He was pretty good on Friday against the Minnesota Timberwolves. But I've said this before. I know I've said it to you guys before. If AD plays, I know he's going to have a pretty good game. Okay, maybe some nights he gets 22 and 10, and you say that's not enough from Anthony Davis. But it's not unlikely for Anthony Davis to give you 30 and 15, something like that, right? Like that's not out of the ordinary. So the reason why I point that out is because I don't think Lakers are going to win based off of Anthony Davis without DAngelo Russell and without LeBron James. I think the Lakers are going to win based on everybody outside of Anthony Davis because AD is going to give you your 30. If LeBron's not there, he's going to get his points. He's going to get his rebounds. He's going to do what he does. He's going to be a fantastic player on the defensive side of the ball. But I truly believe that what it will come down to more than anything else is these role players for the Lakers. All right, how are the role guys doing? How are these other players contributing? And this afternoon, he had some real contributions. He didn't have that against the Minnesota Timberwolves on Friday. On Friday, 3 guys scored in double figures. It was Anthony Davis, who had the bulk of the points. Malik Beasley had 15, but how many shots did he need to take to get there? And then Lonnie Walker just barely edged to double figures with 10 points. Dennis Schroeder didn't have it. Austin Reeves didn't have it. There was a number of guys that just didn't have it. And I think that's the difference between the Lakers winning and losing right now. It's what do all the other role players do? So today it was Austin Reeves with another 16. By the way, 8 assists as well. It was Troy Brown Jr. with 14 and 8. It was Jared Vanderbilt with 10 and 13. It was Dennis Schroeder with 11 and 6 assists. Beasley gave you 12 as well. Lonnie, I thought, hit some key buckets there in the fourth quarter. So that's how they get the win. That, in my opinion, without your best player and your third best player, this is the blueprint to win without those guys. And they're going to have to try to do that, obviously as much as possible until DAngelo Russell comes back. All right, let's read some of these comments here, Laker fans. Let's see what we got here from our people. Okay, somebody OC Neal. Thank you, OC Neal. Yeah, just read his. Just read all that. I don't even have to tell you. Just do all that. Do everything that he just said right there. Let's see what we got here. Let me see what we got here. David Sabatini. Okay, this is a good one right here. Let's just get in the playoffs, please. Teams will be shaking in their sneakers having to play us. I think it depends. Um, it depends where we are, right? Did we get in because is D'Lo healthy? Number one. Is LeBron healthy? Number two. I think there's some factors here. If they limp in and they're number 10 seed and D'Lo's in and out of the lineup and Bron's nowhere to be found, then I don't think they're shaking in their sneakers. But if they get in and maybe you have a home game in this playing tournament to kind of help things out. Maybe LeBron plays the final 5 games because he's healthy now and he can go. And D'Lo's been back for a couple of weeks. Completely different story there. Francis Mendoza. Thank you, Francis, very much for being a part of the show. And I appreciate your super chat, my friend. Thank you very much. Props to Troy Brown for doing what Hachimura should be doing. Team defense and only 7 turnovers the whole game. Also, this one for one. He's getting milk for me. This one's I got you. One time I was doing, for those who don't know, one time I was doing a live stream like this and my phone kept buzzing. This is when I was using the phone. And it was my girl telling me that she forgot the milk. And I was trying to explain, I'm in the middle of a live show. Probably don't need to know that you forgot the milk right now. So, Francis, thank you for the details there. Okay, it's funny you mentioned Rui Hachimura. So pregame show today, because I try to kind of, not all the time, but if I could find a topic that I think is interesting to me, I'm going to ask Coach Darvingham the question. So I actually asked Coach about Rui. I said, hey, what do you think of Rui so far since Bron's been out? Is he aggressive enough? Is he doing what you want him to do? And he said, love him. He's doing everything we're asking him to do. He's this, he's that. He's been great. And in my head, I'm like, no, I from what I've been seeing, what I've been watching, that definitely has not been the case. I've been disappointed by Rui, and I want to be excited about Rui. He just hasn't really given me all that much to be excited about, at least on a consistent basis. He had 2 points today. He was 1 of 5 from the field. I can't remember what he had in the last game, but I know it was maybe like 6 points or something like that. Bron's not there. D'Lo's not there. And Rui, I have a difficult time for somebody who's 6'9", has his wingspan, has his skill set, that the guy can't find a way to get in some type of a rhythm. So I don't actually completely disagree there, Francis. That the Troy Brown getting that PT today, I think, was the right decision. And Troy Brown hit some big shots for the Lakers. And I know he gets a lot of from Laker fans. He played 41 minutes, but had 5 of 10 from the field, 4 of 7 from the 3-point line, had the 14 points, 8 rebounds. Give Troy Brown Jr. all the credit in the world today. I thought he did a good job today. All right, let's see what else we got here. Okay. Do I do this one right now? Okay, I'm gonna wait on one specific topic that somebody wants me to get into. Let me do this. Let me first finish on the game, and then I'm gonna get into another topic that somebody else wants me to get into, because I want to get into that, but not just yet. Okay. The other thing that I want to get into here real quick is some of these role players for the Lakers right now. There's what the Lakers are able to do from this point moving forward if LeBron and D'Lo aren't there. So much of it's going to depend on these other guys. And I'm not saying they all got to play perfect, but you got to get some consistency from some of these dudes. And that's how you're going to beat a team like the Warriors. That's how you're going to beat potentially a team like Memphis coming up on Tuesday, who will not have, obviously we know this, no Ja Morant for them. So that's obviously a big loss for them. But it's going to be a lot of these role players that are going to be the biggest difference. Okay, now I could get into the topic that I wanted to get into here real quick. So Ahmed says, when's D'Lo coming back? DAngelo Russell coming back. Okay, first off, let me just say this on the D'Lo front. Kind of weird. It sounds like he's not having any setbacks. Of course, people are asking about it during the pregame show and stuff like that. When we get a chance to talk to Coach, I thought he was closer to come back like a week ago, and then I saw him warm up on Friday, Lakers Timberwolves pregame, not to play or anything. It was already determined that he was going to be out. But I saw him warming up, and he did not look like somebody that was ready to come back. He just was kind of shooting around, nothing crazy with, the type of shots that he was shooting. It wasn't one of those, hey, he's cutting back and forth and he looks like, hey, he's coming back next game. Without really kind of knowing too much, I'm surprised that he has not played yet. So I would have hoped that he'd be back by now, but I'm just going to play the hypotheticals here. He's already missed. He got injured against against the Golden State Warriors, the first game back from the break. He has now already missed. If he misses the rest of this week, and let's say he doesn't play against Memphis on Tuesday, then and the first game he comes back is on Friday, he'll have had 3 full weeks of rest. Is that 3 weeks? Yeah, I think 3 weeks of rest or so. No, about 2.5 weeks, something like that. So let's hope we get him back sooner than later, because I'm going to spend a quick second on this. D'Lo is so incredibly important to this Lakers team that I said this couple on the game on Friday. D'Lo, you could kind of chalk him up for 20 and 8 a game without LeBron there, right? Because LeBron's not there, he can get his own buckets. He could hit open shots. He's going to make Malik Beasley's life a lot easier. He's going to make Jared Vanderbilt's life a lot easier. Anthony Davis, all these guys, he's going to make their life easier. He's a natural point guard. But what he's also going to do is he's going to allow Dennis Schroeder to come off the bench, I think, make his life a little bit easier. Then Dennis Schroeder is your point guard at the backup unit. I think he's going to make Austin Reeves' life easier. So he's the key piece for me when LeBron's not here. I still think the Lakers can rack up wins without Bron, but D'Lo's got to be there. So to answer your question, unfortunately, I don't have too much of an update here, but there's no setback. So now it's just a matter of when he's going to be comfortable to play. Roderick O'Keefe from LA, but live in San Diego. Just want to say you're making El Cajon proud. What are the chances AD keeps style? First off, thank you very much. You're awesome. You're the man. For people who don't know, I think they know. I'm from San Diego, born and raised in El Cajon. So I appreciate the love. That means a lot. What are the chances AD keeps this style of play up to get us in the playoffs and playing? Listen, I don't think anybody questions. Thank you for the super chat, Roderick. Really, really appreciate that. I don't think anybody questions whether Anthony Davis can have nights like he had today or have nights like he had on Friday night. I don't think anybody questions that. The question that comes with Anthony Davis is his availability. That's the question. So to answer your question, I don't question that AD can't have this type of play the rest of the way. They have 2 more back-to-backs. Is he going to be sitting in those back-to-backs? That could very well happen, right? So that can happen. Keep that one in mind. And then, you always kind of hold your breath with Anthony Davis that there isn't, some type of an injury or something like that. So, but I when I see AD do what he's done, what is it, last 4 games, 34 points a game, 11 rebounds, almost 12 rebounds, 3 block shots, 55% from the field. I'm seeing this stat from Spectrum. That doesn't surprise me. It's just AD's availability. That's it. If AD's playing, I got faith in what the man can do. Roderick, thank you again for the super chat. Okay. I am so far behind on all these chats right now, or all these comments here. All right, we got Rui need to step up, man. Not arguing that one. He does need to step up. By the way, I also say that because I'm a fan of his game. Like I like Rui. Like I want to see the dude succeed here. Plus he's going to be a free agent, so the Lakers are going to have some decisions to make about him. I want to see the man not just get opportunities, but I want to see him, succeed. Okay, let's see. That's actually an interesting one. Dennis has been a great bargain this season. I don't argue that. Guy's making the minimum. Think about that for a second. Dennis Schroeder's making the minimum. Damn, that's pretty good. That's pretty good the way that worked out for the Lakers. Certainly, that's a big benefit for the Lake Show there. All right, I think we're at about that time. Let's do it this way. How about Carlsbad back in the house? Carlsbad, you're getting our roll call started this afternoon at 4:45 here. Roll call right now. Lakers get the W. Do a little roll call. Do a little roll call. Done with roll call. Get into the scores. Get into the standings where the Lakers are positioned at. We'll get the hell out of here. I'll talk real quick about that Memphis Grizzlies game as well. By the way, for so long I was using my damn phone to do these streams. What an idiot! So much easier this way. The hell was I doing? All right, let's see where everybody's tuning in from. Deloading needs to play. Okay, hopefully he's coming back soon here. All right, Rochester, New York, thank you for being a part of the show. Mississippi. Shout out to Anaheim here. City Lights, Little Italy, Mars. Unbelievable, City Lights. Unbelievable. Thank you for the super chat. That's awesome. All right, Temple City in the house. Temple City, thank you for being a part of the show. Minneapolis in the house. Fullerton. Stone Mountain. Do I know where that is? Little Italy, El Segundo. Little Italy, El Segundo. Thank you for being a part of the show. Let's see what we got here. Philippines in the house. Thank you, Philippines, for being a part of the show. San Marcos in the house. I'm going to be here for 9 years if I keep clicking on everybody, so I'm not going to do that. Santa Barbara, Vancouver in the house. Thank you for being a part of the show. Let's see what else we got. Someone's at Alaska Airlines, LAX. Wherever you're going, I hope you have a safe flight, all right? Peru in the house. Thank you for being a part of the show. Appreciate that. United Kingdom, Seattle, Washington in the house, Washington, D.C. Blessings from Fort Worth, Texas. Blessing to you as well. All right, let's see what else we got here. Lake Elsinore in the house. Who doesn't think Little Italy when you think of Lake Elsinore? Springfield, Oregon in the house. Albuquerque in the house as well. Riverside, California. La Jolla. Yeah, that's a pretty cool spot. Yeah, that's pretty amazing area. Singapore in the house. Thank you for being a part of the show. Lexington, Sydney, Australia. Downtown in the house. Thank you for being a part of the show, and thank you for the super chat. City Lights. Thank you very much for doing that. Who am I missing here? Probably everybody because it's going too fast. Sydney, Australia in the house. Thank you for being part of the show. Hercules, California. Do I know Hercules, California? Or Highland Park in the house. All right, we got everybody there. Thank you all for being a part of the show. If I miss you, Molly in the house, Hollywood in the house, Castro District in San Francisco. Thank you for being a part of the show. Appreciate you guys being a part of the show. Okay, let's go to the NBA standings. Laker fans. By the way, if I miss you, put it on there. I'll try to do my best to make it happen here. NBA standings right now. A little interesting. Okay. So NBA standings shows right now the Lakers 31-34 are a half game out of the number 9 and 10 spot because the Jazz and the Pelicans both have the same record at 31-33. So Jazz and Pelicans, same record, 31-33. Lakers at 31-34. So Lakers half a game behind the Jazz and the Pelicans. Now, they got only a game lead on the Thunder and the Blazers, and there's some games going on right now, so something to keep in mind here. Blazers an 8-point lead on the Magic. They're in the third quarter, so we're obviously rooting for the Magic. If the Blazers win that game, then they're just a half game behind the Lakers. Jazz and the Thunder. Thunder up 48-27. So if the Jazz lose that game, for the first time probably all year, because I don't remember a time that the Lakers were in that 10th spot, would be tied with the Utah Jazz for number 10. So that would be interesting. Jazz just get it handed to them. Is Shea back in that game? What the heck's going on in that game? Let me check real quick. That's why. Yeah. Shea's back. Already has 13 points. That dude's just a baller. So he's back. So they got a big lead. So what could happen by the time the night's all said and done is the Lakers could be tied in a 3-way tie for or they could be tied for 10th. And then Oklahoma and Portland can also be a half game behind them. This is just crazy. It's insane. The other piece of this to keep in mind, the Pelicans, who are in front of the Lakers too, they're at Sacramento tomorrow. That's a tough game. So a lot of teams have some difficult games coming up. Orlando coming back on Portland is just a 4-point game now, so keep that one in mind. Okay, one of the final things I want to get into, and I'll read a few more of these. I'll read a few more of these comments here as we go along here. Let me just preview real quick what's going on with the Lakers and the Memphis Grizzlies coming up on Tuesday. So we all know the news that came out. Ja Morant's missing at least 2 games after doing an IG live, showing a gun. I don't know what the hell's going on here, but obviously Ja Morant will be out for at least 2 games. So what teams are the Memphis Grizzlies playing? Well, they got the Clippers tonight here at Crypto. They got the Lakers on Tuesday. So Lakers could get very lucky that Ja Morant obviously is not going to be there on Tuesday. And who knows, maybe that's the game D'Lo comes back. I don't have an answer to that. But obviously that's big news right there. The Memphis Grizzlies are a completely different team without Ja Morant. And they got some bad news yesterday as well. Brandon Clark, he's out for the rest of the year, Achilles tear. So, and then Memphis is also going to be without Dylan Brooks, but that's just for today. He got his 16th technical foul, so he's going to be back for the game on Tuesday against the Lakers. So I just say that because, there's obviously some key important games coming up here for the Lakers, and for Ja Morant not to be in one of the games that they're taking on the Memphis Grizzlies, that's a big-time break for the Lakers right there. It really is. Okay, let's read off a couple of these comments here. By the way, Jazz losing bad, somebody's pointing out, and they are. So that one's good to know. Can we end up the 10th seed tonight? So, yes. So to answer your question right there, the Lakers can end up in the 10th seed tonight. All they really need to happen is the Jazz to lose to the Thunder. And I don't know what the tiebreakers are, so but it is possible to be tied with the Utah Jazz for the number 10 spot by the time today is all said and done. Wisconsin, thank you for being a part of the show. I got some people here saying Lakers are going to make the playoffs. All right, let's see what we got here. So we'll see. We'll see what happens on that front. So the one thing, the kind of last couple things I'm going to get into here real quick is this next week for the Lakers. They got 3 games. And the 3 games they got, the Memphis Grizzlies, the Toronto Raptors, and the New York Knicks. I think they got to go 2-1 on this 3. I'm going to keep doing this the rest of the season, Laker fans, just so you guys know. So, I was talking about the games over the weekend. I said you got to split them, go 1-1 over these 2 games, and they did that. They got that done. We did it on the road trip where they went Dallas, Memphis, OKC. Can you get 2 out of those 3? They did that. They got the 2-1. And I think these next 3 games is the exact same thing that the Lakers are going to need here. They got to go 2-1 over these next 3 games. You have to imagine there's a big advantage for the Lakers because of the situation I mentioned with the Memphis. So then if you win that one, it comes down to, can you split Toronto and New York? Can you split those 2 games against the Toronto Raptors and the New York Knicks? Just so those know, because, to be playing Eastern Conference teams this late into the season, I know it's easy to not really know what's going on there. Toronto's playing a lot better basketball. Since the trade deadline, they've won 7 of their last 10 games. Now that all that trade chatter is gone, they're athletic as hell. They're a good team. And then the Knicks, they've won 8 in a row, and they've won 9 of their last 10 games. Both of those teams got something to fight for. So I know initially you could just look and say, oh, it's just Toronto and New York, no big deal. I disagree. I think those are going to be really tough games. So if you get 2 of your next 3, if they go 2-1 in this final stretch of their 3-game homestand, I think it's a really, really good week. So we'll see what happens from there. Laker fans, I appreciate you guys being a part of the show. Somebody got here. I'm going to read this one here quick. Need 10-7 on the remaining games to be 500. It's doable. That's right. They're 3 games below 500 right now. 10-7. It's tough to see the Lakers right now, big picture, to be honest with you. I'm much more like just taking the schedule by weeks, because who's going to be in the lineup, who's not going to be. I mean, hell, if DAngelo Russell is there and Anthony Davis is there and these role players are there, then maybe we can higher our expectations. But I think for right now, just simply, literally, just simply taking these games that are coming up this week, that's the way I look at it. I think 2-1 is the way to is the way to make it happen. If it was the Eastern Conference, we'd be 10th place. Yeah, doesn't matter. It's the West. There's good teams in both conferences. Lakers just got to take care of their job here. Appreciate all the love. Laker fans, thank you for being a part of the show. Please subscribe to the channel. I got Lakers talk tomorrow. When I'm done with the show, I'll throw it up here on YouTube. Appreciate all you guys being a part of the show. And Lakers with a big win over the Golden State Warriors. Hope you guys have a good rest of your Sunday night. Thanks, Laker fans.